What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Mike Roach Podcast. Always glad to be back on the microphone once again. And Happy New Year, by the way. Let me start off by saying that. Happy New Year. Welcome to the year 2025. I hope everybody brought in the new year safely. And, you know, I'm always kind of curious when the new year hits. These New Year's resolutions, are these things still going on? Like, seriously, do people have a list of what they're planning to accomplish in 2025? Do they do that still? I mean, I do a few things. I have a few things that I definitely want to accomplish in 2025, but I just wonder how big are the goals that people have in 2025. But I can come back to that a bit later. But anyway, Happy New Year's, folks. Glad you made it to 2025. And, to kick off the year, there are some things that I got to discuss. Okay, one of them being the Toronto Raptors and Darko Rajakovic. I'm going to talk about that first because I'm seeing some crazy things online, and I got to touch on that for just a second. Another thing is I got to talk quickly about Wayne Gretzky. I really, really do. He's getting a lot of hate online right now, and I think it's a little weird. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit on the strange side, but I'm going to touch on Wayne Gretzky. And then I'm going to talk about why I believe the Liberals are going to lose. Again, I have to touch on that again. But when I speak about it this time, I'm going to be speaking about it with a very specific example. And we're going to look into that as well. Now, the Wayne Gretzky thing and the liberal thing, they don't tie in hand to hand, but there is a bit of a correlation there. And I'm going to get into that with you as well. But first, where I want to start off is I want to start off. Horse, hold on. That's better. I want to start off with you with Darko Rajakovic and the Toronto Raptors. Okay. Now, first of all, the Toronto Raptors went up against the Brooklyn Nets yesterday. 130, 113. I'm going to drop a bomb for them because they came out, beat the hell out of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the game was close until, I don't know, probably the first three quarters, and then they kind of blew it open. But one guy that I got to drop a bomb for real is Emmanuel Quickly. He was back in the lineup, and, it's kind of surprising to me because I didn't expect that Emmanuel Quickly was going to be back in this lineup. I didn't think I would see him again till at least February. So don't get me wrong. I'm happy he's back in the lineup. The dude showed out. All right. He had 21 points, 15 assists, and 4 rebounds in just 32 minutes of action. 7 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 7 from downtown, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He was nice to have back in that lineup. Okay. Now, with him handling the ball and getting the ball out of Scotty's hands, Scotty now can focus a bit more on defense, scoring. 33 points. He was a plus 14 on the night, 13 rebounds to add to that, along with 5 assists and 2 steals in 38 minutes. I'm going to drop a bomb for Scotty Barnes because this looked like a bit of the Scotty Barnes that we're used to seeing. Balls out of his hands, can focus more on just getting the ball, catching in the post, turn around, mid-range, layup, lobs, getting to the free throw line, even though he only shot 2 of 2 from there. But just focusing on other things aside from having to take the ball up to court, trying to create. And he is a great playmaker. Don't get me wrong there. He's a great playmaker, Scotty Barnes. But the ball was in his hands just a little bit too much. I want to see him just focus on catching, turning around, facing it up, putting the ball on the floor, getting to the rim, and just scoring. Just being aggressive and scoring. And when Emmanuel Quickly is in the lineup, he could do a better job of just doing specifically that because we need him to be aggressive. We need him to be aggressive. And I'm going to get to this whole thing about Darko Rajakovic in a second. But I do want to mention one other guy here quickly, okay? No pun intended there. Grady Dick, damn it. Drop one for him as well. Grady Dick, 37 minutes, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from three-point range, 22 points in this one, plus 22. He had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. 3 steals in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, Grady Dick he's legit. Grady Dick is legit. Like, I don't think there should be a debate about this anymore. I don't know what his ceiling is, but I know he's far from it. But damn, the guy can play. Okay? He can shoot the ball. I'll tell you that much. Could put the ball on the floor. He'll pull up from mid-range. He ain't scared. He's all right defensively as well. Grady Dick is legit. He really is. So, I, for one, I'm happy about that, and I'm sure the city of Toronto is as well. Now, Darko Rajaković. You know, I wanted to do this podcast a day earlier when just after the Raptors took a 54-point beating to the Boston Celtics. But when I saw that, and I was about to go off on them as well, I mean, 54, I don't give a damn who's in the lineup. You don't get blown out by damn near almost 60 points, okay? But I decided to wait because I was like, listen, I don't want to go into a podcast and just completely obliterate the Toronto Raptors based on their worst game. I said, let me wait a second or wait an extra day and let me see how they respond to this half-century point beatdown, okay? Let me just wait and see what they do against the Brooklyn Nets. Lo and behold, Immanuel Quickley is back in the lineup. And I say that to say this. A lot of people are online going crazy about Darko Rajaković. And is he the right guy for the job? He should be fired. They're not going to be able to do anything underneath this guy. I got to respectfully say to shut the hell up. I mean, just shut the hell up. It's just way too early at this point. And on top of that, and most notable, there's nobody in the damn lineup. There's nobody in the lineup. Doesn't it make a difference when you see a guy like Immanuel Quickley come back into the damn lineup? He makes a big difference, doesn't he? Scotty Barnes has missed time. Pirtle has missed time. Immanuel Quickley just played in his 4th game of the season. Grady Dick has missed time. Kelly Olynyk has missed most of the season. Jacoby Walter has missed a bunch of games. Like, a whole bunch of people have missed games. RJ Barrett has been missing games as well. So, immediately, when you know that, and your first reaction is to blame Darko, I mean, seriously, there's just no accountability ever. When things go right, it's the player's fault. When things go wrong immediately, it's the coach's fault. Just like what I believe it was Mike Malone. I'm not sure if it was him or was it Steve Kerr? No, I think it was Mike Malone who said the same thing about Mike Brown when he got fired from the Sacramento Kings. The same thing. Now, let's face it here, folks. The Toronto Raptors, they're 8-26. They stink. But not because they don't have talent. The talent's just not in the damn lineup. It's not complicated. I like to say that over and over and over again. It doesn't have to be complicated. You're 17th currently in points per game. You're 6th in assists per game. 10th in rebounds per game. You don't have players in the lineup. Opponents' points per game, you're 26th. You need your best players in the lineup. I mean, it's clear. And the thing about it is, I mentioned you're 8-26. Folks, there's a big gap between the haves and have-nots when it comes to the NBA. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, Toronto has 8 wins, Charlotte has 7, Washington has 6. You're not touching Cleveland, like no chance. You're not touching Boston, the Knicks, Milwaukee, even though they're in 5th. Orlando is currently in 4th, but now they've suffered some devastating injuries there. But all the big dogs at the top, I mean, ain't nobody touching those guys. And I mean, when I mentioned Cleveland, Boston, New York, Orlando, Milwaukee, Miami, and then there's a bit of a drop off here. There's a bit of a drop off. Like the Philadelphia 76ers are starting to win some games, so they're going to rise in the standings because they got some legit players over there. But the have and have nots, I mean, my goodness. It's Chicago's in 10th. Detroit is in 9th. The Indiana Pacers are in 8th. I mean, are any of these teams going to be able to touch the big dogs in the Eastern Conference? I don't think so. And I don't think anybody else thinks so as well. So good luck with that. Massive drop off after the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference. Okay. Now, so with that being said, the Raptors are pretty much done. This season is a write-off, if you ask me. So because of that, you're looking for development. That's all you're looking for at this point is development. I mentioned this in the last podcast. Who's going to be getting better? Who's going to be getting better? That's all that it's about. Barnes, Quickly, Agbaji, Grady. These are the guys that you're looking at. Mobo, who I haven't seen much, by the way. I'd like to see him just a little bit more. Chomchi, he'll get better, I mean, at some point, but you're not really looking at him right now. He's going to do most of his time in the G League. Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter. Those are the guys that you're focusing on. Okay? You're 8-26, damn it. I mean, please. It's over. For this season, the best you can do right now is hope for the best in regards to whatever's going to happen to you in the draft lottery. Now, we're still going to be able to see some promise. And with Quickly back in the lineup, and I'm sure RJ coming back, I don't know how long, but I don't think it'll be too long before he gets back in the lineup. If you're Masai Ujiri and the trade deadline is coming up, how are you going to completely be able to evaluate what you have when your starting lineup has not even played a game together this season yet? The Raptors had 16 different starting lineups this season already, with 9 in the month of December. That's tricky to evaluate. You pretty much don't know what you have yet in regards to that core starting unit. So the Raptors are going to have to hopefully get all these guys back in the starting lineup and see what they have together, even though I do believe they will make a trade at some point at the deadline or before. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in regards to that, because I mean, there's going to be a lot going on, I believe, at this trade deadline. And I do think the Raptors have some expiring deals that may look to move on from those deals. So, in my opinion, you don't blame all of this on Darko Rajaković. Guys are not healthy, period. Guys are not healthy. And the Raptors are, they're taking their hits. Getting their ass kicked out here, but they're going to fight. They're going to fight. And I'm looking forward to these guys getting themselves back in the lineups. And then we'll see what happens when guys are healthy. Okay. So that's all I got to say. Stop blaming it all on Darko Rajaković. Now, let's make a hard pivot here, folks. I want to talk to you a little bit about Wayne Gretzky, damn it. Because he's catching some hate. He's catching some fire online right now. Just because he's boys with President-elect Donald Trump. That's why he's catching the hate? Really? Do people, no, seriously. Do people have nothing better to do at this point than to get mad at one Wayne Gretzky for being around Donald Trump? Like, Really? That is weird to me. That is strange to me. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to share my screen with you. And I hope this works properly because I've been practicing to make sure all of this stuff is legit for you guys. Let's share this. And I'm going to play this. I want you guys to have a little listen here before I continue with this.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump says he told Canadian hockey legend Wayne Gretzky during a Christmas Day visit that he should run for prime minister. Trump posted on his Truth social platform saying, "Wayne, why don't you run for prime minister of Canada, soon to be known as the governor of Canada? You would win easily." Trump added, he had no interest, but I think the people of Canada should start a draft Wayne Gretzky movement. It would be so much fun to watch.
Okay, so there was an uproar over Wayne Gretzky because there was a picture, I believe, that came out with him and his family, him and his wife. I believe they were celebrating with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I believe it was after he won the election, but I think he was also just there during Christmas. And people are pissed off about it. And by people, I mean weirdos around Canada and beyond. Okay. Okay. Here's where I'm at with this. This is my mindset in regards to this whole damn Wayne Gretzky thing. Don't you find it a little strange about people who judge you based off politics? To me, I find it strange. I don't give a damn which side you're on. You're on the right, whether you're on the left. That's here the liberals, conservatives. That would be Republicans and Democrats. Same damn thing across the border. But I do find it a little strange that people say, "Oh, I don't like this guy anymore. I don't want anything to do with this guy. I can't believe somebody would do such a thing like that." Over who you voted for or who you like in regards to politics or other things. People need to understand something in regards to this. People are going to vote for who they want to vote for or like a certain side depending on their interests. They will vote on their interests. It doesn't matter what side you're on, liberal or conservative. I find it very weird that people don't understand that. Whether it be taxes, whether it be crime, whether it be healthcare, jobs, whatever, immigration, whatever the case may be, people have a right to like whatever side they want to like or vote for whatever side they want to vote for based on what their interests are. And even besides that, what if that's just his boy from a long time ago? What if it is? I find it very weird that so many people are mad at Wayne Gretzky just because he's taking pictures and is having dinner and stuff with Donald Trump. That's weird to me. That is strange, honestly. And like I mentioned, I don't really give a damn what side you're on. But who the hell do people think they are? Like we've heard this term moral high ground. Like you think you're better than somebody else because of who they like, because of politics or because of who they wanted to vote for. You're better than them because of that. I mean, with all due respect, you can kiss my ass on that. That is nonsense. Give me a break.
What's happening over here during whole season? I've been calling the back. It's a complete crap.
Whoa, take it easy, Darko. Your segment's over, pal. It's nonsense.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Like, I find it very strange that people are blind followers of any side. Of any side. I will vote for any side. It all just depends on what I believe benefits me more. Isn't that the way everybody should vote? You just blindly vote for one side against the other no matter what happens? It doesn't matter if they fill the country up with immigrants and illegal immigrants, even if they don't have enough housing to provide for them, if they don't have enough jobs to provide for them, or one side is not creating jobs or is getting the economy to flourish, even though you have the means, the resources, and natural resources and businesses to do so. If crime is freaking out of control, you're just voting for them, but just for what? Because you've been told to do that for the last 40 or 50 years, whatever side you're on. That is strange to me, personally. That's very strange. I mean, so listen, the hate for Wayne Gretzky, I don't think is warranted. I think it's, like I mentioned, if you want to stick to one side based on the history of just doing it blindly for the last 40 or 50 years, I mean, go on ahead. But if you do that, I mean, don't expect anything to change. You could expect it to get worse. You could expect it to get worse because they probably don't value your vote if you're going to be doing that, whatever side it's on. And that's what I got to say about that. But at the same time, I want to say that to say this. It seems like in society that we live in today, if you don't agree with someone or what they do or how they think, it's a problem. It's a problem. People aren't allowed to think the way that they want to think anymore. They must think in terms of the way you think. And if you don't think the way that they think, they're somehow better than you, or it's a problem. No conversations. You just cut people off. We don't want to talk anymore. And I mention that because there is a story about a man named Harold McQuaker. And I want to read to you this story. He's a mayor, by the way, of a township. I'm going to read this to you because I believe it kind of ties in here just a little bit. Should I share the screen? Yeah, let me share the screen with you while I read this because I want you to be able to see this. And this story is from, it's been all over the place, by the way, and not just in Canada. It's made headline, at least in North America. I'm not sure from beyond there, but this article that I'm reading to you is from Sarah Law from CBC News. Ontario Township Mayor challenged human rights decision over refusal to declare Pride Month. And I find it interesting. I'm going to read the story to you. So let me hit the screen share here. And let's go to, here we go. All right. So check this out now. A northwestern Ontario township and its mayor have filed a notice of application for a judicial review of a human rights decision made over the township's refusal to declare June as Pride Month. The situation dates back to 2020 when the organization Borderland Pride requested the township of Emo declare June as Pride Month and display a rainbow flag for 1 week. The township refused, resulting in a years-long process in which the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario ruled against the township last month, determining that the township and Mayor Harold McQuaker discriminated against Borderland Pride and refusing its proclamation request. Bear with me here, okay? The tribunal ordered the township to pay Borderland Pride $10,000 in compensation. But here's where it gets strange to me. And for McQuaker to pay the organization personally $5,000 as well the mayor and township chief administration officer were ordered to complete a Human Rights 101 training course offered by the Ontario Human Rights Commission within 30 days. Now, something that is not in this article that I did see online. McQuaker, who was the mayor, refused to pay the $5,000 fine, as well as complete the Human Rights 101 training. So he did refuse the right to go to the training, and he did refuse to pay the $5,000. But they garnered it from his account and made him pay it. And on Thursday, McQuaker and the township filed a notice of application in Ontario Superior Court of Justice. It submits that the tribunal's decision and orders are incorrect and law are unreasonable, according to court documents obtained by CBC News. And I think I'll leave it there. Let me stop the screen share there. So this is, I mean, this is another part of the reason why I believe the Liberals are going to be absolutely slaughtered in Canada. This is a big part of the reason why as well. People have had enough of this. People have had enough. Now, for one, let me make something extremely clear. What I'm talking about is not about the LGBTQ community. They deserve to be treated with love, respect, and just like everybody else. That's clear. Everybody knows that. But you are forcing this mayor and the town to agree with you. And I do believe that they actually voted in that township if they should do that or not. And they voted on no. But here's the thing. Just like the truckers, when they were protesting against COVID, what I don't understand is, why the hell does everything lead back to bank accounts in this country? Because you don't agree with what people say, it leads you to freezing bank accounts and garnishing people's money. That's not okay. And, these are going to be things that people remember when it's time to vote. Some people may not look at it as a big deal. I do look at it as a big deal. That is a problem. That is a problem. Now, this government has to understand, and this country has to understand, not everybody is going to agree with you. But because of that, it's lawful that you just go into their accounts, freeze it, or take their money? No. That is unbelievable to me. That
You know how I must feel that you betrayed me?
that's what people are saying to the government. I mean, are you
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
I don't know, Stephen A. I have no idea what the hell is going on. But this is like political suicide for the Liberals. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I seriously just don't know how they're going to come back from this. But anyway, that's not my problem at this point. That would be their problem. Folks, once again, Happy New Year. It is 2025. And before I get out of here, there are a couple things that I want to mention here. Let me look over my notes here. New Year's resolutions. I think I might post this on Instagram, or maybe I'll post it on YouTube as a short or something. I want to know what people's New Year's resolutions are. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what they are. What are your New Year's resolutions. Okay. Also, I just watched the birth of the Toronto Raptors, the first part of a 4-part documentary about the Toronto Raptors on Sportsnet. It was damn good. It was damn good. Okay, I'm going to drop a bomb for that. Can't wait to see part 2. And the last thing I want to mention, please, folks, please, it is a new year. I do mention it might be kind of sticky in these first few months. It's going to be a lot of things happening. Please, your physical health, your mental health, take some time, speak to someone if you have to, but you have to take care of your physical and mental health. Okay? Please, please do not take it for granted. Make sure you have that sorted out. I, for one, in 2025, I'm optimistic. I think things are going to go well. Maybe it might start off rocky, maybe not. But I am optimistic that this is going to be a good year, hopefully, for most people. Okay, folks, at Mike Roach 7 on IG, at Mike Roach 23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, rate everything. The Mike Roach Podcast. It's your boy. And I'll be back again soon. Peace. I'm out.